Unit 1 Transcription and Instrumentation. Click on this. There's a little Google slide icon and that will open up this. Go to the Excellence Level song, transcribe Chinese dance into Sibelius. Click there for the file. That'll open up this, and then click download, and then that way you don't have to keep opening up Hapara every time you want to do this. You should be doing it for a few lessons. Then find the file in your downloads folder, and here we go. This is what you want to do. We're going to put this into Sibelius, and here's how. So you open up Sibelius by going SIB up in the corner here. Click on Sibelius 7.5. After a splash screen and a startup sound, an overly long startup sound, you'll get this and the quick start guide. So then you're going to click on blank once. Then we need to add instruments, so we're changing the instruments, and you're going to type them in the top here. So piccolo is the first one, and I'm going to add it to score. Then we've got a clarinet in B flat, and then a bassoon, a glockenspiel. I'm going to scroll down so I can see the other ones. Violin 1. Oops, I added too many. Just going to click one and delete it from the score. Violin 2, add to score, and a violoncello, which is just the long name for cello. Great, now I have my instruments there. I need to change my time signature. So here I've got a C. That means same as 4/4, it means common time. There it is. There is no pickup or upbeat, and I do have a tempo text, and that is allegro, which means fast and lively. Okay, now I've got two B symbols here, two flat symbols, so I need to change this to one of the ones that says flat keys. In this case, two flats is B flat major. The title is Chinese Dance, and the composer is Tchaikovsky, and then click create. And here's what happens. This screen opens up. There's a few things that you need to be aware of. You've got a keypad. That's very, very, very important. And you've got this thing down here. You can get rid of the timeline. I'm just going to get rid of it because it's of no use to me and it just gets in the way. I'm going to go over here, resize my window so that I can see everything a bit clearer. Okay, so we're going to put all this music in. I'm going to start with this bassoon part because it plays at the beginning. So then I go over here. I've got a note that's a blob and a line coming out of it, and then a line coming out of that one. So that's a note head, a stem, and a beam. Here I've got a note head, a stem, and a tail. A tail is just a beam that hasn't been connected to another note yet, so that's the one that we want. And it's got a dot there as well. So the dot, there are two dots here. We've got that one and that one. The rhythm dot makes it longer, and the staccato dot makes it shorter. So we want the staccato dot, the one that goes directly underneath the note. And then I just go. Whoops, I pressed the wrong note there. So to fix it, I can either press up to put it in the right place, or I can just press Command Z to undo and do that. The other way that, I'm getting tired now, I can't be bothered typing all of these in, and look, it's all exactly the same. We've got an F and a B flat just over and over. So I'm going to press escape 3 times. I'm going to click in this bar, and I'm just going to press R for repeat. And then it just does it. Now, annoyingly, I'm meant to be able to fit 3 bars on this page, but it's moved this one over. So to fix that, I'm going to click over onto this line, the purple line, and press return. And now everything's disappeared, but it just means that it's put it all on the one page. So that'll be a bit easier for me to work from. Now I'm going to go down to the violoncello line, the cello part, and we've got another quaver, and I'll put that there. And again, I'll just repeat. So escape, escape, escape. Click that. R, R. Easy. Okay, put another couple of things in. So I've got a little sign here that says P-I-Z-Z, Piz, or pizzicato is what it stands for. Press Command T and then type in P-I-Z-Z. That means that the cello is now going to pluck the string with their fingers instead of play it with a bow. And underneath here we've got a sign that says P. That means for them to play it quietly. So I'm going to go Command E for expression this time. Then type in P, and I'm going to hold down Command P, and then it gives it the fancy sign. If I don't do that, if I just hold down P, it goes like that, which is not nearly as fancy. There we go, that's the one. We've got another MF sign, so that's another dynamic marking telling the performer to play moderately loud. So I'm going to click on the note I want it to go under, Command E for expression, and then hold down Command and type MF to make it fancy. Okay, we've got nothing to happen in the clarinet part here, nothing in the glockenspiel or the two violin parts yet, but I do have this rather complicated stuff happening in the piccolo line. So be careful not to put anything in the first bar. Got a blob and a stem and then two things coming out of it, which is this one here. Oops. So I click on that, and then it's you know, like, where does it go? I'm just going to get you to sort of guess. So it's about there. And that's about right. Here we've got a dot, but it's to the side. So I'm going to click that one, then that one, because that's the rhythm dot instead of the staccato dot. Then we've got a few more of these. No, well I've got a little weird sort of sideways hashtaggy sort of thing here. That's called a natural sign, and that can be found here. So I'm going Command Z. I'm going to put this one in. There we go. And oh, whoa, where's it gone? Where's it gone? There we go. Okay, it just put me onto the next page because we finished it. Okay, and now I'm going to go back down here, see if I can put a little bit more in. This should be pretty straightforward. So again, I've got a dot on the top of this one, so that's the staccato dot, and it's a crotchet. Then take off the staccato, put on the rhythm dot. Oops, wrong note, Command Z. Okay, now here you might say, well, that looks different. You've got the beams are on the bottom here and they're on the top there. Look, it doesn't really matter, but if you're a little bit OCD and you want to fix that, I can show you how, so ask me if you care that much. I've got bassoon stuff going on here, but it looks the same as what it was doing before, so I'm just going to go escape, 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 and take that. This time I'm going to go Command C for copy, and I'm going to put it over here. Again, you might say, but it's all spread out. Doesn't matter. It's fine. It's just like writing a word really long. It doesn't actually change how it would be done. And I've got another, I'll just put another 3 of those in one. 1, 2. Doesn't want to do it. Okay, I'm just going to press. So the reason it doesn't want to let me do it is I haven't got enough bars here. So to add some bars, I've just got to go up to here and add a million. I add a million of them. Why not? There we go. That looks right, and that's where the line would go, the end of the system would go, so that's what a collection of instruments in a score is called. It's called a system, sort of. Then press return. Now it keeps that together. The cello part looks the same as before, so I'm just going to take it, Command C, Command V, Command V, Command V, Command V. Easy. Okay, now I've got some stuff going on in the violin, so this might get complicated. I'm going to start with the violin 2 part. Right. Oops, wrong note. I'll just press up to put it in the right place. Okay, now this is annoying because I want to put the violin 1 part sort of not there, but next to it, but then when I try to do that, it goes over here. So there's a couple of ways that you can do it. I just recommend like clicking in a note and then pressing delete, and it gives you the space to put in the next note. It's a little bit clunky. And the same thing sort of goes on here. It's a bit complicated. So I'm just clicking in a note randomly and then deleting it so that it gives me the space. This is one of the clunky things about Sibelius. It's pretty annoying, and that's just how it is. If you are playing at home and you are very quick to realize that that is the same line as the violin 2 part, just an octave higher, you could just put in the first note maybe, and then go down here. So I just deleted all of that, so to put this in, I'm going to go click on the first note, click Shift, click on the last note, press Command C for copy, click there, and then I'm going to press Command V for paste. It's going to put everything down, so that's not quite right yet because it needs to be higher, but I'm going to go Command up arrow, and that puts it all the way up to the top, and now it looks right. There's one other thing that I haven't got yet, and that's this sign here, this TR giant squiggle. TR giant squiggle means, oops, it's actually on this page, isn't it? There we go, beginning. TR giant squiggle means trill, and that means you go really rapidly between that note, which is F, and the note just above it, which is G. So I'm going to find that one in this thing that says notations and lines, and there we go, trill. That is not where I wanted to put it, so I'm going to go Command Z. This time I'm just going to click on the note, lines, there we go. Okay, and now when we listen to, and Command F for fancy F, there we go, that means to play loudly. Here you've got 3 different volumes going on. The cellos are playing piano, the bassoon is playing moderately loud, and the piccolo is playing loud. It sort of gives you an indication of what's the most important part here. Then you go up to the play tab and check what it sounds like. Okay, so I forgot to do one thing, and see how this says pits on the cello part there? It's also meant to say that here as well. So I need to, really easy to do that, I go, oh, I forgot the volumes for them as well. So I click there and I go Command T for technique, type in P-I-Z-Z. I'll do it here as well, Command T, P-I-Z-Z. To get it out of this mode, I just click away from it somewhere. And then need to put the MF in here. Oh, did you hear that's different? Sounds like a little hiccup. And then press Command E, then hold down Command and type MF for fancy MF. There we go. And now let's have a listen to that. Great. And then it goes on. You can see this is very similar. In fact, it's identical to what was before. So you could just copy and paste that line, that piccolo part in. And this is the same as before as well. So it looks like it's a lot of stuff. Like 6 pages. Mr. Stone, what are you doing to us? It's actually not that hard. Eventually the clarinet part will come in and you might say, again, Mr. Stone, this is murder. But it's actually not, because this is a very repetitive pattern. It's just the same thing. You put in 8 notes and you've got the rest sorted just like that. And yeah, it's pretty repetitive to the end. We've got some quite fast notes here. Triplets coming up. They're a little bit more complicated to put in. You will probably need me to show you how to do that. But you could get most of the way just with what I've showed you in this video so far. And that's that. Put the whole thing in, and good luck.